I'm Madison and I have Alexis and Courtney here with me to do our 3D print experience on Shields Elementary School. At Shields Elementary School, students range from young fives, early childhood special education, and they go up to second grade. Students there often exhibited difficulties with fine motor coordination, core strength, crossing midline, upper extremity strength, and sustaining their attention. So to address these concerns, we created mobility courses focused on all of these listed above. We also focused on sensory regulation to improve their attention and focus. We created a sensory activity that focuses on challenging the students in their fine motor manipulation and attention skills. Our service learning coordinator expressed a concern for students with brachial plexus injuries and their ability to participate in school activities such as painting and writing, so we ensured our 3D print option was focused on these students. The first 3D idea design that we came up with was the zipper hook. So with the lack of shoulder movement and fine motor manipulation, this can make it extremely difficult for students to zip their own jackets. So this design would allow the students to zip their jacket with less shoulder movement and without needing a pad-to-pad pinch on the zipper.
Our second 3D design was called the Ready Writer, and this is an assistive writing grip that can be used for students that have not established a functional grasp or do not have the strength to sustain a functional grasp for a prolonged period of time. So this would give students with brachial plexus injuries the ability to participate in educational opportunities without the barriers of decreased strength and control. Our third design is called the Assistive Nail Polish Applicator, and it supports fine motor skills by placing the handle around the palm of your hand. So this helps students complete these activities without worrying about the type of functional grasp a student is actually using. This type of adaptive equipment would be especially beneficial for the individuals that have brachial plexus injuries. And this is actually the 3D object that we are choosing to print for Shields Elementary. So the reason that we chose this 3D print object was because it allows for more variety in use for school activities and allowing for more engagement in the educational opportunities. So, like for example, the device can be used for not only nail polish, but markers, painting, and writing utensils as well, while other devices are more specific to tasks such as zipping or writing. Additionally, our service learning coordinator had multiple students in mind that she believed would greatly benefit from this device, indicating a need to trial this device. And we actually got this idea from the Makers Making Change Instagram page, and it also can be found on their website as well.
So unfortunately, we were not able to observe the student the 3D printed object was intended for, but our service learning coordinator tried it on a few other students and provided us with some feedback on the outcomes. One of the biggest things that was found is the opening to hold the utensils was too large, so the occupational therapist used putty to hold the utensils in place. The occupational therapist also stated there was a learning curve to get used to the dynamic movement rather than just movement of the wrist and fingers. And the OT also had some of the students attempt to use the nail polish bottle with the 3D printed object, and she said that this worked really well. Our experience with finding 3D printed objects was quite easy because the Makers Making Change website is very user friendly and it allows us to easily find 3D print files in multiple formats that you can use. When our final 3D printed object was printed, we were unsure what one of the pieces was for, as it did not contribute to the functionality of the device and we didn't see it on the Makers Making Page website. So we kind of just left that piece aside because we didn't know what the purpose of it was. But overall, our experience with the 3D printing was positive, and the low cost of the designs allows us to adapt the tools as needed for clients without anything being too expensive. In the future, it is recommended that the diameter of the slot that the pencil goes in is made a little bit smaller to provide more stability when using smaller utensils, such as when writing. Overall, the occupational therapist was ecstatic about the 3D printed object, and while there were some challenges with it, she was able to adapt the object to meet the students' needs. Our design was an hour and 54-minute print, and it costed a total of 64 cents. Because of the low cost of the 3D printing, it makes us feel much more comfortable using the 3D printer in the future, because even if the device doesn't work, it's not a high cost mistake, and we can adapt our designs as needed. And these are our references where we got all of the design ideas from.